stream. Shows it streaming, but the website shows that we are offline. So that's friggin' excellent. Hey, now, no, we are. It's okay. Now I see it. So I maybe they're just really way delayed. Still says offline, but I saw us on the screen when I refreshed. So welcome to the show, everybody. All, all two of us. All right, Rob. So, anyways, we're just gonna run with this and hope this
Oh, is
turns
the
out.
oh okay, yeah, the name's right. Okay, I see it.
Name. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm watching this. It's showing a
This is
commercial for me right now. So, but I did see us a second for like real quick. Hey, and we're back. I see it now. Yay! So, anyways, you guys can tell Brun is not with us today. So, gosh only knows what's going to happen with this
oh
show.
well, he's still with us.
Oh yeah,
He's just not with us.
he's not here presently. He's out celebrating an anniversary or something stupid like that. I mean, come on, really? No anniversary. Not like it's something important, right?
Yeah.
Now, big congratulations to him and his wife. They're celebrating an anniversary. So, hope you guys have a great evening, and I hope that you're listening to the soothe, mellowing sounds of TXL.
There you go.
Chicka-pow-wow.
Yeah, nothing to put somebody in a mood other than like the
Listening.
sounds of our voices.
Exactly. We'll have to,
Wow.
we'll have to talk in a slower, softer tone this evening, to help set the mood.
Yeah.
So, anyways, hopefully this will all go off with a hitch. I apologize if it doesn't. You guys know I have my computer is as a likes to crash, and it already did once today, so we're hoping it will survive tonight because I'm running the show. It has been a long time since I've done it, so we're gonna try to get through this pretty quick and hope for the best. So, anyways, Rob, I would
Yes,
love to
sir.
hear what you've been playing this week, and be honest about one of them. Just go ahead and be honest.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been playing lots of Clash Royale. That's what you wanted to hear, right?
What is that?
I've mentioned it before. Are you serious? Seriously asking?
I usually tune you out.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's not that that surprised me, but yeah, Clash Royale's it's a mobile game. It's pretty fun. Just that's the latest addiction. But other than that, I did get in a little bit of. I can never remember this game's name. Oh my gosh, what is it? It's Grand Prix Rockin' Racing. This was just like a total impulse buy. Damn you, digital purchases. So, have you seen this game,
Never
Mark, at
heard of
all?
it. No.
So it came out. It was like six something. It was like almost $7.
$7.
And yeah,
Is this a no? Wait a minute. Is this an Xbox game or a mobile game?
Xbox One.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
So
I thought you were still on mobile game.
no. So I saw Major Nelson posted about this, and I'm like, wow, that thing actually looks kind of neat. And it really reminded me of. Do you remember the old arcade game Super Sprint?
No.
It was the game that had like it was an arcade game that had like three or four steering wheels, and then you had this top-down view of a racetrack, and you saw these like little tiny
Oh yeah, yeah,
cars,
yeah, yeah. I do remember that.
and you would just like whip around turns, and there would be like jumps, and you try not to crash into each
Okay.
other. So it totally reminded me of that. And I got my Xbox later on, and I watched a trailer for it, and it looked pretty darn good. I mean, the visuals looked really good, and it's basically like an F1 or Grand Prix version. Where you got like Formula cars, F1 cars, whatever they are, and they're going around a really big track, and it looked pretty good. The graphics look really nice. It looked really well done. So I got the game and I started playing it, and I'm like, what the heck is this? This is crap. And I tried it for a little while, and it was such a letdown. And I really didn't give it that much time just because I'm not at the point of where I feel ripped off, but I was so disappointed with the game that I just didn't want to play it. it was very hard to kind of get into because there I am expecting the super sprint or the sprint type of experience where you're just whipping around the turns. Because I think one had like monster trucks, and another one was like sprint cars or whatever it was.
Uh,
And here you're playing these F1 cars and crashing into everything, and it just wasn't what I actually okay. I guess I'll come down to it and I'll say it wasn't super sprint. Maybe that's my disappointment. It's itself. It's whatever. Eh, There was a game that came out a while back that was similar. I don't know what it was called, but it was something like Rockin' Racing, maybe off-road Rockin' Racing or something. And I was reading that people kind of panned it a little bit, and this actually was a better, more well done version of the game.
uh-huh.
But maybe if I'm feeling like giving it a second chance, I'll get back to it and see what it's like. But like I said, it was very much a letdown. It wasn't Super Sprint. Can you
But
believe
not
it?
enough to delete it yet.
No, no, it's definitely not a DC universe. And
Yeah, I
but
blew that one away.
yeah, speaking of which, I actually went through my games and apps section, and having the 4 terabyte drive, it really makes you not check to see what's on your hard drive, at least for me. I had a lot of stuff on there that really didn't need to be there anymore. So I wound up punting like a whole bunch of betas and
Yeah.
stuff that's it was a closed beta a couple months back or something. So I punted all that stuff and I deleted DC Universe. So I got a fair amount of space back. So maybe that's our public service announcement for tonight. Go check your hard drive, clean off that junk that you don't need.
And I'm gonna share a very similar thing in a moment with you along those same lines.
Okay.
So, but I'll save that for a moment
All
because
right.
I really want to hear about the next game.
Oh, I'm done.
No,
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 you're not.
no.
Now,
So,
because whether or not you wrote it in the script, now you got to make stuff up if you were lying. So,
okay. So I did actually give Doom a try. So I was actually on the closed beta, open beta, whatever it was that they had a couple of weeks back. But I never actually got in to play it because it was all multiplayer, and I just didn't have the time to get into it. Because sometimes you just don't have a whole lot of time to
yeah.
sit there and play a game. It's like you only have like 20 minutes. You want to get in and out. So I finally got to play the full release version, and that was it was a strange experience initially because my history with Doom goes back to like wow, early 90s. So that's what, 20 years. I played the heck out of Doom, Doom 2, Doom 3, Quake. Oh wait, no, not Doom 3. Doom 3 is the one that was that the one that came out like 10 years ago?
No, I think Doom 3 came out just a
Because it
couple
was on
years ago, right?
360. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
So
this would have been Doom 4, I think.
yeah, yeah, that's right. So Doom 2, the Quakes, the whole slew of them and such, and had so much fun with that whole series to the point of where like the original Doom, we played it so much that it's like you
Oh,
knew the whole map.
take that back. Doom 3 came out on the original Xbox. Uh,
Okay.
so maybe this would have been Doom 5.
No, no,
Maybe
no.
Doom 4 was what we were there. I thought there was a Doom on. I could have swore there was one on the 360.
Yeah, there was.
Because Doom 3, when I'm doing the Wikipedia, it said it was on Xbox. And
Okay.
it wasn't
Well,
even that
regardless,
came out in 2004.
what, Doom 3?
Doom 3 did,
Hmm. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
just played the heck out of it. And those of you that were around back then, I remember all the Doom mods that people had, all those custom levels and everything. So it was so much fun. So much fun. So I was thinking, should I get it? I really like
Oh,
the.
oh, okay, got the
But
update. Sorry, it was Doom 3, but it was the BFG edition. Came out in October of 2012 on the 360 and the PlayStation 3. So
okay,
it was 3. So that we were still
all right,
correct. They just
all right.
re-released it essentially. What, 8 years later?
Okay, yeah, yeah. So with the past couple of years, I really liked the Wolfenstein games. I'm like, yeah, let me give it a shot. Go back to the nostalgia. And I started the game up, and I could instantly see that it was definitely going to be more complicated than the original Doom, which was just basically if it moved, you should shoot it. So they do have a leveling up system, which you can pretty much expect nowadays with the games. There is a leveling up system, and it really is Doom on steroids. Now, when I first started playing it, the first impression that I had going into the first level was this game is so gross.
Yeah.
It put me, I mean, it made me a little uneasy. Just all the, I don't want to say it seemed needlessly gory or gruesome, but
Gratuitous.
that's that's kind of how it was. I mean, there was like stuff everywhere, and I know the storyline is just like demons from hell coming back and taking over people and such. So I see where that fits, but I just wasn't like really like mentally prepared for it. It was just kind of a shock. So and initially I was a little put off by it, but I kept playing, and then the game really started reminding me of that original Doom. It is totally the feel of the original Doom with much better improved gameplay and graphics. I wouldn't expect much more from it than that.
Right.
Because if you're looking for like some crazy storyline,
There's no story to Doom,
yeah,
right? I don't think there ever has been.
no. That's what I was just going to mention. It's just like if you're looking for some deep storyline and moving character development, it's, you got the wrong game. Absolutely the wrong game. But I think it actually does stick to its roots, and it totally is Doom remade for the new millennia.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good way to put it. It actually even has kind of the same feel because I was actually jumping around a little bit. Because in the original Doom, I don't think you could even jump in Doom 1. Could you?
I don't even remember back that
No, no.
far. I doubt it. I don't think jumping was really, unless it was a platformer. I don't think they had jumping
Yeah.
yet in those. It was.
Because I think all it really did was you could kind of strafe, and then the only up and down movement was you when you went on a platform. And that game might not have even had the platform. Might have been later on. Because I'm starting to get my Dooms and Quakes confused now.
Yeah, I don't. It seems to me Doom was pretty much a straightforward, just the original first and
Like one
second one.
level.
You just ran forward and just killed stuff and moved left and
Yeah.
right, and you just
Hmm.
yeah. I don't think there was a lot of much else to it. So
Oh
that
yeah.
was my question: is there is it still the same thing? Like, okay, so like when the health packs are on the ground and is there ammo and stuff you got to pick up, and or do you have
Well, you mean your hot button of why do I
no,
have
no,
to
no, no, no,
actually
no.
hit a
Well,
button
yeah,
to pick
that's
it
one of
up?
my questions. Do I have to actually pick it up? But in this game,
No.
does the enemies, when you blow them away, do they drop ammo, or do you just have a lot of ammo? It's not part of the game, or do you have to? Is there a do you have to be careful and watch your ammo count, or is ammo
Yes
a
and no.
plenty?
So there's a couple of different difficulty levels. So I'm playing at the medium one, and there is a fair amount of ammo just littered all over the place.
Okay.
Same thing with the health packs. There are those, here and there. And what's unusual about this game is that when you shoot like your average bad guy in the game, they're the imps. That's a name from the original, and I'm guessing that's what they call them in this one. But when you shoot them, let's say you shoot them with a pistol, which of course has unlimited ammo. You shoot them with a pistol, and then they start glowing. When they glow, if you go up to them and you hit the right thumbstick, so you press down on the right thumbstick,
Yeah.
then you basically do like a takeout of them. Either like you rip their head off or you do some kind of gory
Like an
kill.
execution.
Yeah, you do it like a gory, like melee
Nice.
execution. And then they always drop health, which is weird.
So if you do an execution, it's guaranteed health.
Yes.
Okay, but if you just shoot them, then you may not get health.
No, no, you don't.
Okay. Now there's the big question: does the health pick up automatically, or do I have to hit a button to pick up the health?
It's automatic.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
That's so silly.
Welcome to 2016, id. They finally got that right. How about the ammo? Does that auto pick up as well?
Yes, it does.
All right, I might actually be able to
How,
buy the game now.
however, it's not like some of the games like I think Borderlands was kind of like this, where you're literally like 20 feet away from it and then you pick it up.
Yeah, it flies to you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it doesn't do that. So you really need to be on top of it to pick it up.
Just got to run over it. Okay.
So like I remember there was this one section where I went through like a 30-second panic where I was just being attacked by everything. And then I was like just back. I do this thing when I start getting attacked a lot, I start go retracing my path. It's like you go where you came from because you know that that's clear,
Uh-huh.
and then you find an area where you can like take them on one by one. I don't know if you do that at all. No. Anyway,
Depends.
so I backtracked, and then I actually got away from them a little bit, so there weren't any in my immediate area. And then I started looking for ammo, and there was an ammo clip on top of a box of some kind, and I actually had to get on top of the box to pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So just being right next to it does not pick it up.
Okay. So now, is this is single player only, right? You can't co-op
No,
the campaign.
there is single player campaign, and then there is multiplayer.
Okay. Okay. But that's like online. Yeah, that's what that. Because I did try the open beta for
Hmm.
about 45 seconds.
Okay.
I got in. I got into a multiplayer match. Was like, boom, dead. Spawned in, boom, dead. I'm like, quit. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is. I'm like, this isn't even worth it. This is stupid.
Yep.
So I would
That's my
never.
experience with Battlefield.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would not play this multiplayer. It just doesn't interest me. The only
Yeah.
thing I have an interest on, uh, the campaign might be fun. I really don't know. Just because it's mindless killing, I think that might be fun for me. And I understand that the campaign is actually supposedly going to take you more than 13 hours to complete, according
Oh, that
to
long?
yeah,
Wow.
according to
I didn't
Bethesda.
realize
I'm
that.
reading it. Id Software stated that the campaign will be more than 13 hours long. And Rob, I think you should really try the ultimate ultra nightmare mode. It has
Mm.
permadeath. So if you die, your
That's,
game's over. You go back to the start of the game.
oh, No, thank you.
So there's probably like a media achievement for completing the game on Ultra Nightmare mode. That
So that means you have to play it in 13 hours in one life or one.
in one life. The whole campaign,
Wow.
that means you cannot die one time.
Yeah.
So that would
And
be.
I've died probably 3 times now on regular. Wow. Interesting. No, but I mean, as far as the game goes, it is Doom. It definitely is Doom.
Do you know? Well, I don't. You're probably not far enough in. Do you know if the environment changes much, or I'm just wondering if all 13 hours are like you're on the same area where nothing really is going to change? Because that for my familiarity with Doom, I'd never really played Doom 3, but I think I started it, and I don't remember if I got bored with it or what, or just was creepy and freaked. I think I might have scared me more than anything because it was
Oh
one of
yeah.
those. It was more of like Dead Space.
Yep.
Oh, that's a tough game to get through. That's one of those where like I remember sitting there on Dead Space, the original game, just saying to myself, I don't want to go into that room.
Yeah.
I remember actually being scared to go into the room because you knew something was in there.
Yeah,
uh,
your heart's racing,
yeah, and
that
I recall
anxiety.
Doom 3, I think, was like that. Because
No,
all
it,
the
I
lights in the dark and you get the flashing lights and stuff, and you're walking around and a steam pipe goes off, and you're like, ah! But I don't know if the level, I'm wondering if it's like the originals were pretty much didn't change, but I mean, that was back the way it was,
mhm.
kept walking down halls fighting enemies. So I'm wondering if this one for 13 hours you're going to get different environments, different backgrounds, different levels to play, or
No,
is it
there's
because it sounded like there was like one big map, like this was just one big open map area from something I heard on another show. So I'm like, does that mean it's all going to be the same, or are you going to get different
you know,
areas of the map? Or are they going to look different to give
I
you?
think I know what they're talking about because so when you pull up the map, mini map, whatever you want to call
Uh
it,
huh.
you basically see everything. So what I mean by that is like on a lot of games, so you go into the next section of the game.
Right.
When you pull up the map, that's all that you see. All you see is that one section. However, so far on Doom, you're let's say 2 hours in, you pull up the map, you'll see everything leading all the way to the beginning.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And the map is kind of weird though, because it does show you all the things that you can pick up. And like when you first get started with it, the stuff doesn't seem to jive up with the legend, like what's what, because it shows you like little icons of where things are, like let's say like some kind of doorway or some kind of key card access thing
Right.
or some collectible. And you sit there and you're looking at it, you're like, what is that? And it's like it doesn't match up with anything on the legend. It's a very loose translation of the icons, that's for sure. But like I said, you can look all the way back, and there is one section towards the beginning of the game where you see all this stuff behind you that you just didn't necessarily know what it was or if you should get it or not,
Uh huh.
but you can't go back there. Maybe at some point you can,
Huh.
like if you get some kind of jetpack or something. I don't know, I'm just speculating, guessing there. But like there was one section that you can't go to because you can't jump that high,
Hmm.
and you jumped down the cliff. But there are indoor scenes, there's outdoor scenes.
Okay.
There's quite a varied environment. And if you played the original Dooms and you know the bad guys, it's those same bad guys just redone
Looking a
and
lot better.
a lot better. Yeah. Instead of like a blob of pixels in the shape of like a ball. Like I know one guy was looked like some kind of floaty ball thing. I saw photos of or images of that same character, in the new one, and it's like, yeah, he looks like a disgusting monster. So yeah, overall, it is Doom. It is definitely Doom, and it's Doom that's redone. The graphics are much better, but the gameplay is pretty much the same as before.
Yeah.
So, and I don't say that in a bad way.
Just not, in other words, go into it understanding that this is just a run and gun, shoot and strafe, and that's it. I mean, that's really all
Yeah,
there is to it.
it's not open world to the point of, where you can go wherever you want. Well, maybe you can, as long as it's in a line. You can go forward, you can go all the way back, maybe.
You can go where they
But
let you go.
exactly. But yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised, even though initially I was kind of grossed out. It's very gruesome.
Cool.
So
Well,
you gonna get it?
I, I don't know. I
Still
don't
on the
know.
fence?
Overwatch comes out like in a week,
Oh yeah,
and I know I'm going to be playing that, but I don't
I
know. I'm
understand.
not that huge of a Doom fan, but my tastes have changed. So it's like I'll end up buying it and then probably playing it for an hour and going, I'm bored. And that's what I want. I
And
don't want to do that.
right.
I'm tired of putting money into stuff and then find out I really don't like it. Like I did not like Quantum Break. I cannot. I just can't go back to it. It's one of those that everybody else loves, and I'm like, I don't like it.
Well, let me
So
throw this out
it's like
then. So,
my Shadow of Mordor for 2016, and I don't want to have two of those. you know.
well, let me throw this out then. So, all of these games, let's say Quantum Break, it's heavily a story game. You have the Telltale games, which you haven't cared for either lately. They are totally story games. Here's a game that has virtually no story.
Well, that's the thing. This should appeal to me just because it's
Yeah,
just it's mindless. Just running, gunning. I mean, this
no,
should fit in. But then again,
it's action and it's new environments.
I don't know. I think it's one of those that'll feel like there's nothing new either at the same time. Like I really enjoy the Division. I really love like Splinter Cell Blacklist. That those were just amazing games.
Okay.
Um, but I don't know. I might. I'll think about it a little bit later.
Or you can wait on it.
And it'll probably be discounted here sometime soon.
Yeah, I would imagine sometime this summer it's got to be on
Probably.
sale. And there were two versions of it. So there's like the regular Doom version, and then there was well, it was pretty expensive. It was $100 for the other version, and the only difference was the season pass. So it's a $40 season pass,
Whoa.
and all it adds is multiplayer stuff. So if you're not looking for multiplayer stuff at all, you're really into the campaign, and a 13-hour campaign is that's pretty sizable. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good game.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it initially without even knowing that it was a 13-hour campaign. I'm like, this season pass is no, don't need it.
exactly.
But it's something that you can always add on.
True.
It's
So
all, if you get into the multiplayer and the base game multiplayer isn't enough for you, you can always tack on the additional stuff. But it seems like it's a fair amount of game for the base.
cool. Well, what I
So,
played this week
mhm.
was I played some Battleborn, and I got a big shout out, thank you to Bold Nothing, because he got on and it was funny. He jumped in from the show last week when I said, "Hey, anybody playing this game? I'm looking for people to team up with." So he shot me.
You were begging for
I was
players.
begging, please. This dude, I don't
It's
understand this.
pitiful.
It's like a graveyard out there of people. Like on my friends list, this is like, and I mentioned like Hitman. I didn't see anybody playing the new Hitman game. Well, this week Cubicle, I saw him playing, and I sent him a message. Hey, someone's playing Hitman. He's the only person I've seen play Hitman. This
Okay.
one, I've got a couple people that own Battleborn and play it. I'm trying to get 5 people at one time because there's an achievement if all 5 of you go into a multiplayer game, then
Hmm.
it kicks an achievement. And it'd be nice to go in with a group of 5 against another group of 5. I think we'd have a lot of fun with it. The game is fun. I really do enjoy it. Um, but again, it's one of those. It's like you want. It's more fun with friends.
Oh, sure.
Even the campaign, I think, is kind of fun, but it's again, it's more fun with friends. And I can go in and play it online, but then you get into people that don't know what they're doing, or they don't want to work together, or they don't want to revive you if you go down. It's like you only get so many lives. So then if you use them all, then the game ends and it's over. So it's like you really want to work as a team. So I do like Battleborn a lot. I'm enjoying it. I just wish that more people were playing. But anyways, so Bold Nothing got on, and we let me think about this. So we were playing. We got in with 3 randoms, and we were trying to beat the very last mission, which I've heard is like insane. And he's like, "Well, I already beat this one." He goes, "I did this by myself." And I'm thinking, okay, all right, this is the kind of person I'm getting teamed up with. Someone who's cocky and is like, "I did this by myself," right? So we get in there, and I'm like, and I'm talking to him, and I'm thinking, okay, this guy's a little arrogant here, because even the developers said it's really hard, and they're going to actually patch it to tone it down because it's insanely hard. And I've tried a couple times with people online, and we get all the way to the final boss, pretty much no problem. And then you get to the very final part, and it's just like, boom, here's 800 guys on the screen at once. Good luck, you know. And it's just insane how hard it is at the end. So he was playing, and as we're going through, and he's like, "Wow, wow, I'm taking a lot more damage. Wow, these guys are not. I'm like hardly touching them." So all of a sudden, as we're going through, he's starting to make comments like, "Wow, this is harder. I don't remember it being this hard. I don't remember it
Right.
being." So by the time we got to it, and we did it. I think we tried it twice, and we couldn't get through it. And then he was like, and he was kept going, like, I just don't remember it being this hard. I did this by myself. So him and I did just a private one, just him and I, and went through and beat it. So I'm like, okay, obviously it's scale. So he was right. He wasn't being arrogant or anything. And what we've learned is the game scales, and it scales way too hard for the more people. So don't go into this Battleborn final mission thinking the more people you have, the better. Go play the final mission by yourself.
By yourself
Maybe a buddy. Bring maybe a buddy along, one,
and a
and that's it.
wolf.
And you'll be better off. So, but thankfully, Bull Nothing, I really appreciate the help. It was awesome, and I look forward to playing more Battleborn with you. But yeah, I did complete that campaign. So now I'm just kind of playing to level up some characters, level up my command rank and stuff like that. Continue to get unlocks and stuff. So again, if anybody wants to play, hit me up. Um, and maybe we can try to get a group of people to play. Get 5 of us out there. We'll get that achievement. Also, it was funny. We had a Friday Night Live. Several people couldn't show up till pretty late. So it turned out to be Brun and I. And that was it. So we played Battleborn for a while. Then we went and played some Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now, here's the funny part.
Okay.
Brun's like, "You want to play some Black Ops 3?" And I'm like, "I don't even have that game." And he goes, "Well, I didn't buy it, and I see it in my games list." And I think we were playing Battleborn at the time when he was talking about it. And I'm like, "Dude, I don't have that game. That's the one I didn't buy. That was the first Black or Call of Duty game I didn't buy." So when the game ended, I went into my menu, and sure enough, there it is, sitting in my dashboard. And I'm like, "What? I don't remember buying this game." So it was kind of funny because it's kind of like what you said when you went through, and because I pinned stuff, and I guess I don't know. I think after I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I think I did buy this. I think I was like bored. I was in kind of one of those slumps, and I'm like, let me just buy Call of Duty and I'll play the campaign. And I think that was the one I didn't finish because I didn't like the campaign, and I was thinking that it was Advanced Warfare was the one that I didn't finish. and I had my so I guess I had bought the game and didn't realize it. So we ended
Oh,
up going. I had not played any of the multiplayer. We went into that. Oh my gosh, has that changed? Wow, talk about fast pace. We just got annihilated, but we played that for a little while, and it was it was actually fun, even though it was getting slaughtered. I kind of felt that, man, I really miss Call of Duty. I liked it, and we were talking about a lot. Brun and I spent a lot of time talking about it as we're playing. How we really miss, and I think I'm now getting why people are so excited about Modern Warfare Remastered, because that game was very simple in its multiplayer.
okay.
There wasn't. Nowadays, you go into this latest one, dude. There is so many add-ons and different things to the game that it's like we were sitting in the menus, like, what do we do? There was so much to it. It was just like you were lost,
It's
had no idea what
overcomplicated.
was going on. So it really kind of, I think it was hard for us to get into it, especially when other people are like, we saw a dude who was like level 219 or something. It was insane. I'm like, I'm a level one. Run was a five. How are we getting into a match with someone that's 219? I didn't even know you could go that high. I guess you can in this game, but that's what the level was. And Braun and I were like astonished at that. But he was like a 219. Um, so it was, it was just crazy. And again, as we played, we're trying to figure out how to. There was just too much to it. So I think they just made too much. So I think a lot of people in our conversations we're playing, kind of thinking, you know what? I do miss Modern Warfare. I do miss that. I remember playing. Oh my gosh, so many hours of multiplayer on that game, and I'm kind of thinking, you know what? I might have to get that game just so I can go and play a simpler, you know,
Yeah,
multiplayer without all the extra stuff that they've put into it. I just want to play, have a few, and have unlock your certain weapons and just a more simplified, fun, good time, which is what Call of Duty always has been. So that was kind of interesting. But we did play that. We also played some Siege. Loved that. Had a great time. It was nice to get back in and play Siege. Tried out the new characters and the new map. I wish they'd give us some more maps. They're giving us like one new map every 3 months, and they're like, "Well, it's free." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'd pay for new maps if you gave them to me more than one. I'm gonna get four after the first year, and that's it." Um, so I'd like to see more maps, but I guess we're not gonna get them. We're gonna get two more out for the rest of the year, and that's it. But still, it's an awesome game. I love Rainbow Six Siege. And then, or wait, is that Rainbow? Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege. And then I also played something new today. I'm going to jump to the mobile side. And I discovered, I was reading an article about it, and I saw that it was a free iOS game. So I downloaded Bejeweled Stars. So essentially, it's like uh, Candy Crush Saga style of Bejeweled game. So
okay.
they've taken Bejeweled and kind of turned it into one of those multi levels, different things you need to do. And of course, they've added you can buy all this junk, which I never buy anyways. I usually play them until I get stuck, and then I keep playing the same level over and over a million times till I finally get past it. But so if you like those types of games, this is one by Bejeweled from PopCap. It's called Bejeweled Stars. It's free. I think it's on the Android marketplace as well as iOS. So it was fun. I played for like 25 levels. So it's one of those integrates with Facebook, so you can send requests to your friends. Please send me lives. I need more hearts so I can keep playing. So, so which those things annoy me, but it's like I didn't have any games on my phone, so like let me try that.
Try Clash Royale.
I don't. Isn't that one of those like Clash of Clans?
Same company. It just different. It's a totally different. It's like a tower defense
Yeah, I
with
don't like doing.
cards,
I
kind
just
of.
like I like the matching games on a phone. I don't like. I've tried those other things, and I just don't really care for them.
Just try it.
Okay, maybe we'll see.
No commitments. Just try it.
Exactly.
I got everybody in the house playing it now.
So, all right. Well, let's move on. Our short show's going long already.
Yes.
Well, that's probably the most meat of our show was right there. So,
We'll see.
because there was just not much to talk about this week,
Yeah,
but
it's a fairly quiet week.
it has been. So let me see if I can do this correctly.
That's I bet a lot of it's because E3 is what, 4 weeks away?
Yeah, I mean
It's
we're
that soon.
yeah we're in that drought now, so we're gonna have like no news the next month basically until E3 hits. But let's see, and I've got all my stuff messed up here. So if you would like to support the show on a monthly basis, you can go to patreon.com/ this Xbox Life. You can set up any type of donation that you would like to donate to us on a monthly basis. You put your credit card or debit card in, and it'll automatically draw it every month. And that's a way to support us if you wish. And we do think you would thank all our current patrons. Appreciate that. If you would like to do a one-time tip, you can go to twitchalerts.com /donate /this Xbox Life. This is a one-time only payment of whatever you wish. Normally we display these at the bottom, but that's Brun's got all the info in the program to run it. I don't. I do, and I don't know how it doesn't work right on for some reason. So I'm sorry we're not showing the names, but they will be back next week when Brun's up there. So yeah, again, like Brun says, they're not expected, but we certainly do appreciate it. All right. So, oh, and I missed that. So we already are past what we've been playing. That's why. So now we're at the round table. Um, so, you know what? First off, before because for some dumb reason, we've got the background, we've got and no topic about it. Homefront, the Revolution. I'm not sure how we could have that as the title of the show, the
Yep.
background, and then we don't even have any discussion on it other than it's coming out next week.
Yeah.
So, of course, part of that is I know nothing about this game, and I personally have no interest in it because I played the original and hated it. I really did not like the game at all. I don't even remember if I finished it. I think I did finish the story, but I really didn't like the game. I may not even have finished. I so I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Do you have any opinion on this game?
I've never played the first one. Um, this was the one that had like, was it like Korea or something was invading? Was that the one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the
I,
original one. Yeah, it was. You remember the movie Red Dawn, right?
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, essentially that's what it was. It was like Red
Yeah.
Dawn brought to the video game world.
Exactly. And, with a change in the power that is invading. But yeah, this was a game that I really had no interest in for some reason. And I think I remember people just bashing it left and right. And then, you know how it goes when you're in the cult of the new. If you don't get something in that first week, it's gone. It's replaced by something else that's shinier. So
Well, I think
I'm
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
what I was going to say was, so first one totally got passed up. I can't say I'm looking forward to this one, but I'm mildly interested to see if they can do a better job than they did last time around.
Well, this is a new developer,
Okay.
new publisher. I think it's a new engine. The
I would hope so.
I can't remember who. Let's see if this. I brought up the wiki to see if they say who.
Deep
Yeah,
Silver is its
THQ.
publisher.
Well,
And
yeah, THQ did the original one. So this got sold off to Deep Silver. So Dam Buster Studios is the
hmm
developer, and Deep
right.
Silver's publishing it, and they are using the Cry engine.
Cool.
So this game, so there are some things that interest me because this is an open world first person shooter. So it's not like that already is a difference from the original game because that was a linear shooter. Now the setting on this one is it's set in an alternate reality in 2029,
Okay.
4 years into the North Korean invasion of the United States. So they're you know North Korea did invade in the original game. So this is 4 years later. It takes place, I guess, in Philadelphia. It's under occupation by the KPA, the Korean People's Army. The new Philadelphia is heavily policed and oppressed environment with civilians living in fear as the KPA patrol multiple districts in the city. In the city, a second rebellion is brewing, and the resistance grows stronger, being led by Parrish, resistance leader, and youngest members of the resistance. Blah blah blah. The story will follow Ethan and the new resistance as they attempt to retake Philadelphia. Uh, so, as opposed to the original game, this one, like I said, it's going to be an open world type of game with
Right.
many districts to explore. The players will have to scavenge parts from buildings and stashes to create and modify weapons and equipment. The KPA weapons are all fingerprint locked, and as such, they will have a sizable advantage over the resistance. That doesn't even make sense to me. That statement. What does a fingerprint locked weapon have to do? I guess you can't pick up one of their weapons and use them,
Right.
which kind of sucks.
So it's tied to the soldier or something, maybe.
Yeah, I
Or
guess. But I don't see how that gives them a sizable resist advantage. I guess because we have to scavenge for our weapons. There will be side missions where the players will be called off to carry out tasks like assassinating a high ranking general or stealing a drone. Another new feature introduces the enhanced ability to modify weapons, such as adding a foregrip or a sight in the middle of a firefight, or to convert a rifle to light machine gun and vice versa. That seems weird. Like, I don't necessarily like that. And I remember hearing about this in another show where people were like, yeah, they like that idea. Like, oh, I can make my assault rifle into an LMG. And I'm like, well, that really doesn't make any sense. If I'm running around with an assault rifle, I'd rather just say, let me grab my LMG, even though that's stupid too, because who's running around with an assault rifle and LMG on their back and their pistol and, or a rocket launcher? But to me, it's like, okay, it's a video game. I can, but to say all of a sudden I can convert my assault rifle into an LMG, it's just like, it just doesn't work in real life. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
It's like
Hmm.
something I can't. It's like, okay, I can accept this. I don't think I can accept this. I don't know how I'll really like that. And you can change it like in the middle of the match, and you can go back and forth. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be nice because if you're running around and you hit a point where it's like, wow, I really wish I had a machine gun to blow out that nest over there. Okay, convert yours while you're at it, right in the middle of the game. But
Yeah.
it just seems kind of odd. Um, there's three districts. They got the green zone, is the affluent area where the center of the city, uh, the KPA is at its strongest. They are also where the invaders are at their most comfortable. They have running water, stable power supply, fortifications make green zones one of the safest places in the city. Then there's a yellow district, which is the ghetto area, which is where the most population live. Patrols happen frequently, and it is very difficult for the rebels to navigate cluttered city streets or blah blah blah. Power and water are intermittent, and overpopulation has forced people into slum-like tent cities. And then there's the red zone, bombed out suburban area. It's in ruins and rubble. This is where the resistance at its strongest. While the KPA presence is still heavy, players will run into resistance troops, weapons caches, traps set up to take out enemy patrols. The landscape is barren, though, heavy shelling, blah, blah, blah. So I like what I'm reading and what it sounds like.
Right. Right.
They definitely sounds like they made a nice change from the original game. Uh, but again, it's one of those things. It's like I can't put my money down. I'm gonna have to wait and see what people think of
Exactly.
it. This does have a four-player cooperative multiplayer mode. Um, this mode is known as Resistance Mode. It's separate from the main campaign, has its own character progression, classes, and perks. Uh, and they said that the studios also promised that this mode will have a difficulty level that is similar to the Dark Souls games.
It's
Yikes!
wait, difficulty level like Dark Souls.
Yes.
Oh, everybody's hosed.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but yeah, this will have. So there doesn't look like, because it says unlike the first Homefront, which featured a competitive multiplayer mode, This one's going to have a 4-player cooperative multiplayer mode. So
Okay.
looks like there's not going to be any PvP, which is right down my alley. I'm not a PvP in fun. I don't enjoy that. So I don't know. I think comes out this week, tomorrow or what, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So we'll have to see. I got to look into our chat window because I haven't had my chat up for a bit, but I'll have to look and see what our community is saying in our chat right now and see if anyone's interested. But yeah, it sounds good, but past, in my
No,
opinion, is
it's
what's hurting it for me.
and not just that, but here it is. Like, how long ago was it that Homefront came out?
You would
Four or
ask me.
5 years ago,
Oh, it had to be longer
maybe.
than that. Let's
Really?
see. So the original one came out. Let's see if it tells me in here. 20. Let's see. Oh no, that's not right. Let me click the link here. Came out in 2011, March 2011.
So 5 years ago.
Okay.
So here they are, 5 years later, different developer. You have this storyline, IP, whatever you want to call it. Not only do they need to one up that, which was, from what I recall, like a mediocre title. So they have to one up that and at the same time get this game to be relevant or interesting enough in 2016 and to have it be interesting to people that have just been playing games like Siege, The Division, and every other similar title. Because if it doesn't stand up to the games that have come out in the last 2 years, why bother? You know, you may as well just, if you really, really want the game, wait like 3 months and pick it up on one of those like
Yeah.
65% off gold sales.
True. Yeah, and this is one I think that just because of the initial game, and I think the poor reception that it had,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think this is one that it is. I think that I think it's going to hurt it because I really do. I mean, you look at when it's coming out. Uh, Overwatch is the big game, and that's next week.
Yep.
So this is 1 week prior. So even if people buy it, I think it's going to be, it's not going to have the longevity because for some reason, I'm really predicting everybody and their brother is going to be on Overwatch.
Oh yeah.
Seems like that's the big. Everybody wants that. Everybody's hot for it for some reason. And I played the beta, and it was okay. It was fun, but same like Battleborn. I enjoying Battleborn, but it's not like the greatest thing ever. And Overwatch. We've seen the whole game. There's no campaign. It's all online only against other people. So it's just like it's not in my wheelhouse, and I just don't think that it's all that either. They're fun. Both games are
Sure.
fun, but I just don't see it as that. But I think a lot of people do. A lot of people are excited. I think it's mainly because it's Blizzard, and I think that's going to hurt. Again, another
Yeah.
thing that hurts Homefront. They're coming out at the wrong time. They should have come out when there's just like nothing was coming out. Maybe they would have had a chance, but we'll see what happens. Maybe they can pull it out.
Yeah.
Deep Silver's got some pretty good uh, status. I didn't like their last game, but I love their Dead Island series. But I didn't care for the last zombie game they had. I forgot what the name of it was, but
If their only competition was that Grand Prix Rocket and Racing, I think they would have been okay.
yeah, maybe.
But that's not the case.
So,
We'll see.
oh man, I forgot. Democulus is in the party, dude. That's right, dude. We should have had him on tonight. He is like on a vacation right now.
Yeah, I was about to say he's living large on vacation right now.
All right. Well, maybe we'll have to get him in here next week because I think next week I will be gone, and you and Braun maybe can get Democulus in here. So I'm calling you out,
Sure.
Demo. You can need to join the show next week, be our guest host. So, but and from what I'm seeing in the chat about Homefront. Looks like a lot of people are going to wait. Some people, basically, the comments are
Interesting.
they're going to get it, but they're going to wait. So people don't. Looks like people aren't planning to get it on day one. And again, it could be because Overwatch. Everybody knows that's the following week. So
Yeah, because the one thing about getting everything digital is everything is too accessible, but in reality, you can only play one thing at a time. It's so easy to get like three titles. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's so easy to get three titles, but you can only play one of them at a time. So you may as well just wait. It's not like the old
right.
days where you gotta get it because you might not be able to find it on the shelf later on.
Well, I think that nowadays the problem is that everybody's going to play it.
Yeah,
So again, if you want to do, it's harder. If you got a single player campaign, no big deal. But if you need to find people to help play, or you want to do multiplayer, or you want to do this cooperative mode, if your friends are going to be playing it week one and then moving on, then a month or two down the road, it might be really hard to get your friends to come back and play that. So
true. But in this case with Homefront, looks like everybody's gonna wait.
And I just got to say, Hawk made a comment that he said, as soon as Trump is president, we'll be fighting the Koreans in real life. So,
Jeez.
yikes. So, all right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's move on. I think we talked enough about a game that neither one of us has a real
Yes.
interest in or knowledge,
Yeah.
but we wanted to share as much as we could with you guys and remind you it's coming out this week.
Yep.
So, but speaking of Overwatch, okay, and I gotta say, I gotta preface this. I don't know how I stand or how I feel about this. Overwatch, they are going to permanently ban cheaters on first offense. Let me state too that this is most likely going to be PC only,
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask there.
but this is so because I don't think but the article doesn't state anything like that. It just says Blizzard will permanently ban any player found cheating in Overwatch on their first offense. Announced in a post about cheating on the Overwatch forums, the policy will be to slap a ban on any player found to be cheating or using hacks, bots, or third-party software that provides any sort of unfair advantage. So the hacks, the bots, the third party software, that's obviously PC side, which is where I think a lot of your cheating is prevalent. That's where the most of it is comes from. However, it says found to be cheating. So if you think about the division, and they were just recently going and talking about banning people there for using quote exploits or glitches by
That's
doing
different
things
though.
that's in the game. But but Division's going to say they've come out now. Ubisoft's like saying it doesn't matter whether it exists. If you're playing outside of the way it's intended to be, they consider you a cheater and they're going to start issuing bans. So if these guys are doing the same thing, then that could come over to console. If you're doing it now, I don't know how the whole PSN, Xbox Live, that's got to play a part, and they might have some say where you can't ban our people, but I don't know. We're getting into that now. This is and I wanted to bring this up because we're starting to see this. Oh, if you're cheating, we're going to ban you, and this is permanent off for first offense. Which man, that makes me a little leery because what if you use a glitch or you do something one time and you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that, and you're out. I mean, you can't get your
Yeah.
money back. You're gone. Uh, Part of me says, great. Maybe this will keep people from doing it. I don't think so. Cheaters are going to cheat no matter what, but maybe it'll help keep the amount of it down. Uh, but what do you think about a perma ban on your first offense?
Well, they're not messing around, and I can see them wanting to protect the environment because I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago, where they are responsible for creating an environment which is at least somewhat fair, but it keeps people from ruining it for others, because when somebody cheats, everybody in the vicinity of that cheater, their experience is ruined.
Right.
Like back in the day when they used to have those like auto aiming bots on the PCs.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could do. I mean, there's
Right.
nothing you could do. A dude could be like jumping across the room and they headshot you.
Well,
You
I'm
know,
I'm all for that. Like, so
yeah.
I like the part, if they detect that you're using a hack, a bot, or a third party, you intentionally
Hmm.
set this up to cheat. I mean, that so there's no
You knew
it,
what you were doing.
exactly, and boom, you're out the door. I'm all for that, and that's great. The I
Right.
guess where I have a little concern is when it comes to the console, and if and again, it's a multiplayer only game, so no matter what you do, you're gonna affect someone else. So even if there's a wall glitch, and somehow it's gonna happen. See, that's the thing. It's going to happen. They always are. They always
Right.
exist. Someone's gonna fall somehow through a floor, get behind a wall where you can't shoot them, and they're gonna start shooting people. Does that count as cheating on Blizzard's? Do they determine that as cheating? And
Right.
what should we how should we view it? Because I'm kind of I think if they do it once, okay. Because sometimes you might have slid into it, or you backed
Sure.
up into a wall and you're shooting, and maybe you can't even tell. But if you're doing it consecutively over and over and over, then okay, yeah, we see this guy's using this on purpose. One time, I don't think they should for something like that. But
Well, if they just say they will ban you on first offense, maybe that's just going to be more of a deterrent than anything else. And then when it comes to actually carrying out the bans and such, that's where they can decide.
right. Well, I think it's good because especially for a multiplayer only game that they come down on it and they do police the environment because there's too many games that where it's not happening and it's insane.
Hmm.
It's crazy out there. I
You know,
saw it with Siege last night. I got in a couple games and people were team killing. It's just like, what's the friggin' point? Like one guy was going, he'd kill all his teammates, and then he'd try to go and complete the mission on his own so he can get the kills, but he can't complete it anyways. And it's like, dude, just play as a lone wolf. There's a lone wolf mode if you
right,
don't
right,
want your people around. And then, I was actually sending messages to other people in the game going, dude, I'm voting to kick the guy out. Go in and vote to kick him out, and we'll get rid of him. And everybody ignored me except one guy. He wrote back and he's like, I don't know how to do that. And I'm just like, hit the button on the left, dude.
yeah,
Bring up the left menu button. And I'm like, whatever, I'm out of here. I'm like, you guys want to play with this guy? That's your choice.
yeah.
But there is a option in Siege to report someone for. I think they called it fair play or something like that. But they've got something built in, which is new. I don't. I think that's part of this last patch they've put in. So because I didn't. I know you could vote to kick, but I never saw that before. So I think this is new they've put in about hey reporting someone.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with that, but they definitely need systems for these multiplayer games to report. The hard part about this, especially in a console, and I remember reading an article somewhere about this, and I think it was Overwatch actually. It was an article in Ubisoft, I think, was saying those people on the console, the people that are really good, are just that good. So it's one of those where a lot of times you're like, oh, this guy must be cheating or hacking or something. No, they're just really that good. That does
Sure. Yeah,
happen, and
yeah, yeah.
so, but it's good to see on the PC side they definitely do this. I do have a little concern on what it means for the console side. I still want it to be clean and policed up and no cheaters, but
Yeah, yeah.
I suppose overall around it's good news.
Because if they just say we're going to ban first offense, that's it. That removes that whole debate on, well, what is bannable? It's like, is this bannable and that's not? This to me, this is them saying, well, everything is bannable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
They just remove that whole discussion
well, I think you
and
could
then they
get to a
decide.
point though, because we've seen like in the division where something exists. Now again, yeah, I got to look at it because I did. I'll say it. I'll admit it. Finally, I did the glitch for Falcon Lost twice. I did it twice. I didn't
Cheater.
want to do it the first time because I'm like, what's the point? But
You did do
I
the
couldn't get
second
through
time.
it the real way. Couldn't get through it. It was friggin' hard. Now I've done it several times since. Legit. Um,
But you didn't
but I
inhale.
did I did cheat if you want to twice. It was boring. I thought it was stupid. And I guess I could look at it as like, well, it does exist in the game. So I don't think that they should really do anything and ban me or anything like that because it does exist. But I did have to do something that would you it was not a normal. It's like you had to know how to do a certain sequence of events to be able to get even to the place so that you could do it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you knew what you were doing. It wasn't like, oh, how come if I stand? It wasn't like I backed up against a wall and all of a sudden no one can shoot me. It wasn't like that. So part of
Right.
me is like, if they do something to me, that's the price I pay. I wasn't going to get mad and throw a fit about it and say, I'll never play the game again because I knew what I was doing. But I didn't like it.
Oh, come
And
on.
so I
You'd
didn't
still
do
do
it.
that.
Huh?
You'd still do that.
No, I did. No. I didn't want to do it the first time. I don't even remember what I know the reason I ended up doing it was because I was tired of going into the dark zone because I'm trying to get. I wanted to get to like level 75 to get this. What's it called? There's a sniper rifle that I want. You got to be rank 75 to get the blueprint. And every time I go in there, I'm just getting destroyed by people because there are all these. And I'm a lot of people get all this. They glitch the system. I know people who have glitched it many, 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 many times to get all this gear. And it's like, I'm not going to do that. But then, and those people aren't the ones I know doing it are not going in and destroying people in the dark zone. But there's a lot of people and they're running around just killing people for the heck of it. And it's just like you can't even go in there and do what you need to do, which is what the game is designed to have you go in and do. And then there's just griefers in there who are glitching the system, getting all this gear, going in and whooping up on everybody. And it's like you got to go and get this stuff to even try to have a chance to survive. And that's the way I'm looking at it. It's like your game is broke, and if I want to get to this, I have to do this. Um, but now I've completed it legitly a couple times as well, and
Legitly?
legitimately, I've done it. The Falcon Lost is hard, and now the new one coming out, they're saying you got to be a gear level 220
Wow.
to even start it. And I'm like, wow, I'm like a 204, I think. And I the last time I did Falcon Lost, I did the gear I got wasn't even anything any better. So I went through it and did it, and I basically got nothing. It's like this is not better than what I already have. So it's like, wow, that's lame. But anyways, so be careful if you're a cheater. These companies are watching you. So,
Yeah.
all right, Rob. Couple,
And pretty much everything you do in games nowadays sends back some kind of telemetry.
yes, yes, it
So they know everything.
does. Telemetry. I was on a call one night with some of our engineers from work, and we had several engineers, and they were. It kills me. They don't call it telemetry; they call it telemetry or some telemetry. And I'm thinking it's telemetry. I'm like, every time they'd say the word, I'm just like, but that's what happens when you're talking with people from different countries. It
Yes.
just every time I hear that word now, it makes me smile because I think of that call.
Hmm.
Anywho, no one cares about that. So,
Yeah.
Rob,
Yes.
do you got the tissues nearby?
No, I don't have any
Oh, we
tissues.
better skip this story because this is gonna make you bawl like a baby.
No, it's not.
Disney has canceled the Infinity game, and they are no longer self-publishing games. Now they are going to release two more packs. I think it's Alice in Wonderland and the Finding Dory. So they're still going to release those two coming up, but that's it. Um, that's it. They're done. and I saw a story. I think someone posted in our group the other day, in our Facebook group. They went into the Target, Target or Walmart, to like, oh, maybe I can go get this on a discount. And the shelves were wiped out clean. They pulled all the stock of these things. So I don't
Did
know
they
if other
pull it
stores are doing.
or did it
They
get bought up?
no,
Clearanced.
from I guess what he, I'll have to go back and look on our Facebook group. But what I got out of it was that the store has pulled all of these items, all the
Wow.
characters, all the games, the main packs with the portal and everything was pulled. So they're either gonna save it for like maybe they're gonna pull it all and put it in for like a Black Friday type of thing at the end of the year, or I don't know what they're gonna do with the stuff, but yeah, they pulled this one particular store pulled everything
Hmm.
off the shelves, and
And I
I'm
would
like,
imagine, well, in all those stores, the shelf space is at a premium. So they probably pulled it off the shelves. They've got it in back and it'll be on the clearance racks
probably, but I'm still
sometime
surprised
soon.
that they
Yeah.
wouldn't, because I know the stores that I've been into and I see they take up these friggin' the Disney shelves are like almost an entire aisle,
Yeah. Hmm.
with all the console box or the core sets and then all the characters. My goodness, they got a lot of characters and stuff.
So
So,
many of them.
but if you are into this game, you better buy up everything you can right now. If you want all the characters, all the sets, because they are gone, and people are going to start nabbing these up if they already haven't. So, word to the wise.
Yeah, that's right. And there's still a fair amount of game in these because I
Hawk
know
says the Walmart by him pulled them all down and made the Skylanders area bigger. So looks like Walmart is doing it as well. So might be
looks
too
like,
late.
yeah, Activision won because Skylanders came out first, right?
Oh yeah, by a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I thought the Disney and what I've heard about, I haven't played the Disney Infinity, but from what I've heard, it's a much better and a much higher quality game than the Skylanders games. Um, just based on what how they made these games and what they wanted it to do and how it worked, and so which makes sense to me too.
Yeah.
Disney is a very quality conscious company, and Activision's all about just churning out crap every year so they can milk you for more money.
Yeah.
Of course, Disney's starting that with Star Wars. We're getting a new. Oh, I got to tell you this too. This is off topic. Um, not really, 'cause it's still Disney, but Disney's going to start doing this with the Star Wars franchise. So, we had Star Wars Episode 7 this last December.
Right.
This coming year, at the end of this year, we're getting Star Wars Rogue One movie, which is like a
Oh,
spinoff.
yeah. Hmm.
Then the next December, we're getting Star Wars Episode 8. The following December, we're getting a Han Solo movie. There's going to be it's going to be I just read this, I think last week. They've found an actor who's going to portray a young Han Solo, and it's going to be, I guess, about him as a smuggler. So,
Okay.
so they're going to do, I guess, every other year, they're going to have this one off story in the Star Wars universe. So,
So it buys them some time and possibly makes new franchises or
could.
new tangents.
Yeah, I think it'll work because if they're one offs. So, but again, I don't necessarily want to see the Star Wars franchise get run into the ground at the same time.
Oh, come on. They'll never do that.
So, but speaking of movies,
Yeah.
and going back to the video games, did you happen to see the Assassin's Creed movie trailer that was debuted this week?
Yes, I've seen it.
So, what did you think of that trailer? What were your thoughts?
When I initially heard about it, I'm like, okay, there's going to be some guy running around on the rooftops and, doing the swan dives into the haystack, like 3 miles below him. I have no idea how he keeps hitting that thing all the time. But I was kind of surprised to see the whole technology, what, animus, what
Yes.
they call it? Yeah, the whole animus stuff. For some reason, I never even considered that to be like a high tech movie. I just saw it, being medieval times or Renaissance times or whatever it is. But it it is remotely appealing. Although the clip that I saw of the guys like running around, it reminded me of like those cheesy parkour videos you see on YouTube.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I thought the animus is different, and it
What
almost
do you mean?
so it because like in the game you like lay down in this chair like a dental chair type of thing, or you're
Chair
laying on
or
this
like a bed or
bed
like
chair something, right?
examination table? Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and in that movie there was like some big arm and this thing wrapped around his body,
Oh
so
yeah, like
it
around
was
his
almost
waist.
like I'm wondering if he's actually, you see him there, is he really doing these moves, like kind of like think about like VR, right?
Yep.
So he's doing it all, and he's going to be spinning, jumping for real instead of just laying in a bed. But he's going to view it as in his mind he's really there, or he's whatever. But I was just like, I saw that and I was just like, oh, that's different. And I just, I don't know. I would think I'm gonna have to see some more trailers, but it was just a lot of, the trailer did not interest me at all in the movie, and I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
So
It yeah, we'll have to see more, see what it's all about because I would think that this trailer is just trying to appeal to the gamers, but when they make the movie, they have to make it appeal to the general audience too
right,
with some kind of story. There a couple of years ago, they came out with a couple of like short videos. Do you remember that? Each one was like 5 or 10 minutes
I
long.
don't think I saw them.
They were kind of like those Halo videos where they kind of told a little bit of a story. Those
Yeah,
were
I don't.
those were actually sort of interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I
So
saw those.
so this movie they can do something interesting with it. The only question is, did they, or did
Yeah,
Hollywood
I
totally
felt like
jack
you
it up?
did. I think the trailer like tried to show off all this parkour stuff, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
you don't really need to do that.
No.
You could make an Assassin's Creed movie be very good, high quality, interesting, good story, good acting, still have some of that. But the trailer was like, that's all you saw. It was like so much of that that I'm like, okay, it's just a bunch of guys flying and jumping and leaping, and no thanks. So
You
we'll have
know,
to see. We'll definitely have to see more, because I mean, that was what, a 1 minute, 2 minute video.
like 2 minutes.
You got a 2 hour movie. I mean, that's could
Yeah.
be every jumping scene in the whole movie, you know.
Or it's like you watching a Twitch play of one of the games.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. But it's interesting. Hopefully, I hope it does well. I hope the movie's good, because I would love to
Yeah.
see some more game related movies, stuff, especially games that we really love.
Sure,
I
sure.
don't. I'm not even a World of Warcraft player, but that movie looks awesome.
Oh yeah,
I
it
actually
does.
want to see that movie that's coming out. I think here in what, this summer. So I think
Yeah,
it's
I
coming out
think it's
soon.
coming out soon. Yeah.
So I'll have to look that one up. All right. And then the last story for the night, Rob, multi-disc 360 games are now eligible for the Xbox One backwards compatibility program. So off the top of my head, I know Rage, I think, was 3 discs. Um, there's a couple others.
That was the id game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that will be eligible. So I guess they're going to somehow get these in, and they won't require you to disc swap anymore, because they're all, they're digital. You're getting a digital game you're downloading. So, but they're going to start adding some of those now to the backwards compatibility list. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, it expands the possibilities of what you'll get, and you'd like to think that the multi-disc games are meteor games. because they have more content in them in one way or another. So, we'll get some more value for our backwards compatibility dollar.
Let's see. There was. Let me see if I can find this. Because did I link it? Was that a link? I did. Duh. Why didn't I just click the link in the story? I'm trying to search for it manually because I think they had listed a few titles in here. Let's see. It came from Major Nelson. The first multi-disc game was added earlier this week. That's Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. So that one is already available. Let's see. Oh, and they don't list anything else. But I do know like Rage was a triple title or triple disc. There was several other games that I know I had in my library that were multiple discs. So there you go. Now,
Yeah, now
Colby.
that now that I'm thinking about it, I'm drawing a blank as to which ones have
Yeah,
multiple
I don't
discs.
recall. I think there was one that I had, and I can't remember what it was, but maybe it was a Halo game where the campaign was on one disc
Oh
and the
yeah.
multiplayer was on another disc. But I think all the Halos are, I think they're all, aren't they all backwards compatible? Or well, I guess yeah, because we have the Master Chief collection. That's and maybe I'm thinking of the wrong game, but I remember there was one I had that if you wanted to play multiplayer, you had to put in the multiplayer disc. So, but yep, so that's coming.
Anyway,
So
yeah.
more stuff. All right. Okay, so we're gonna move on here. Let's see if you want to. Where's my picture? I gotta drop this picture. I'm trying to. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. So if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, you can do that by going to thisxboxlife.com and clicking on the send us a voicemail tab on the right side of your browser. All you need is a microphone. Um, Send that to us. We'll make sure ask a question, leave a comment, but be sure to give us your gamer tag or your name in real life, and we'll play that on the show. You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/this Xbox Life. You can also join our Facebook group. This is where we do most of our community chit chats, and this is our online presence. We do have our website, but that's just to announce the shows. All our other stuff and our interfacing with the community is on Facebook. So facebook.com/groups/this Xbox Life. And so, what is new this week, Rob? What can they spend their money on?
Their hard-earned money. Well, for Xbox One, we have Homefront: The Revolution coming out on Tuesday. We also have Mimic Arena, Super Night Riders, Fallout 4 Far Harbor, and Cubicolor. I think I'm saying that right.
I think so.
Cubicolor, yeah. For the Xbox 360, doesn't look like there's much of anything. Games with Gold also switches it up this week for Xbox One starting tomorrow, Monday, May 16th. There is Costume Quest 2. The game that's wrapping it up is Sunset Overdrive. So if you're listening to the show right now, you haven't picked that up yet, you got a couple more hours to do that. And the game that is going on for the full month is Defense Grid 2. That is definitely an awesome game, but you have that through the end of the month to pick it up if you haven't. Xbox 360, the game starting tomorrow is Peggle. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Best puzzle game ever.
Yes, and this one is backwards compatible, of course, the Xbox 360 game that is playable on your Xbox One. And wasn't the Xbox One Peggle free a couple months back?
Peggle 2? I
Oh,
think
Peggle 2 maybe.
so.
Yeah.
I think so.
So yeah, definitely grab those. Then also, as always, like to mention that if you're doing any of your purchases on Amazon.com, you can support the show by clicking on our affiliate link before each and every purchase that you make over there. Just go to our site, thisxboxlife.com and click on the Amazon logo on the right side of the page. Do that each and every time. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help support the show by giving us a little bit of a teeny tiny itty bitty piece of the sale as a finder's fee by sending you their way. And you definitely help the show out by doing that, and help yourself by buying whatever you're buying. And then lastly, another way that you can help us out as well is to give us a 5-star review on iTunes if you are one of the iTunes people that use that service. Just give us a 5-star review, give a little review, tell everybody what you think of the show and such. And the more 5-star reviews that we get, the more noticed that we get from Apple. Does that make sense? No. We get noticed more
You
by
get
the folks at
featured
Apple,
like on
and
their
we get featured. And I
yeah.
thought something fun to do, maybe we'll start it in the next couple weeks, is we can read some of those comments.
There you
What do you
go.
think about that?
That'll work.
Yeah. So I've got a way to pull that information. And what's interesting is that when you review for a particular country. So I guess every country has its own iTunes store. So if for some reason you have access to more than one iTunes store, give us a rating on each one.
There you go. People have to start doing some giveaways or something.
Yeah. So
We'll buy
yeah.
our review scores. I guess we
Hey,
can't do that.
we
Never
wouldn't
mind.
be the first. Would be the first to do that. So yeah, give us a review on there and get yourself mentioned. Although I don't know if we would exactly know who that correlates to gamer tag wise. Either way,
Yeah, we can't do giveaway. I don't want to do giveaways for
no,
that
no,
because then it's
no,
like we're buying them, and just
no.
we prefer 5 stars, obviously. But
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure how the naming goes on there, but I guess that we have to see if we can correlate it somehow
we
to who it
appreciate it.
is, community member wise. But either way, we'll read the name off as it's listed in there and in the comments. So that'll be something new and fun to do.
Cool.
And that's all I got, my friend.
All right, that's it for me. So appreciate you guys joining us this week. We will be back next week, and Ron will be back, and be running Rob next week, and we'll get Democulus in here. I'll have to reach out to him. That Slacker's on vacation right now, so we'll make him do some work next Sunday night.
Yeah.
Take my spot. But thank you guys. Have a great week. We'll talk to y'all next week. I am Mark, aka Wingman 709, taking off.
This is Rob Olson and his Prestar. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you all next week.